So, it's CGB, and I'm back with another deck, and it's blue and red, and you're gonna get the picture that I like blue and red. I don't love blue and red. Some people adore blue and red, like blue and red's all they live for. I don't necessarily, but blue and red is by far the color combination with the most, the densest amount of synergy type cards in duels. You can make a lot of different blue-red decks without touching any other colors. And that's without getting into Jeskai, without getting into Grixis, but you can make so many blue and red decks. You can make Thopters, you can make the go wide Thopters, you can make vehicles with Colossus, you can make Sphinx's tutelage, you can do all kinds of things. And what I'm going to do today is oh yeah, burn. How could I forget burn? You know, just hit the face, burn with fevered visions. Lots of things, right? So, this is blue-red control. And it is, a lot of people add the white for the Jeskai and things like that. I don't think you need to anymore. I think there are enough options and interesting ways to win without it, but I would understand. I think the white got down to just being like Gideon and some declarations in stone, but maybe I'm not crazy. I think I can win with just blue-red. I think there's enough win cons. So what do we got? Galcanic Bombardment for those. Anytime that you're trying to kill attackers and not worry much about players, Galcanic Bombardment is better than Shock if you expect your game to go longer when you draw multiples of them. So that's why it's here. Jace is Jace. Why wouldn't you control this? Thing in the Ice is Thing in the Ice, and when it flips, good things happen. Fumarole synergizes with most of the cards in the deck because everything more expensive is a spell, and it's a pretty awesome card. You will see, even if we're not countering things, just casting things cheaply is amazing. And Telling Time, great with a Fumarole, great without it to get you the right cards. Harness Lightning, get that energy, kill things. Take Inventory, kind of same logic as Galcanic. You expect the game to go long. This gets better and better. Tower, which is a bit of the deck centerpiece. When we have Tower, it's a very different game. Almost to the point that I want Trophy Mage, but I found it too slow. But Tower does let us do things like go toe-to-toe with Planeswalker decks. Radiant Flames, actually that's wrong. Wrong, I said. Go back. There we go. It's supposed to be 1 Radiant Flames and 1 Kozilek's Return. The instant speed works with Torrential Gear Hulk and can create a blowout in combat, which is a big deal. Firecrafts, mostly for hitting Planeswalkers, and they do their job well. Saheeli Rai. You could change this into a Disciple of the Ring if you don't like my win conditions. I like Saheeli. Some of my logic is that the deck doesn't have life gain, but if you put a Planeswalker out there early that they have to worry about, it's like a little bit of life gain. And if they don't get rid of her, she just kind of pecks away. She checks their Planeswalkers. She cleans your draw, even if her other abilities aren't great. You can use her to copy a Gear Hulk. Like setting up that kind of turn is pretty cool. Glimmer is Glimmer and awesome. Brutal is an interesting utility spell. Can do things. It's not always the greatest, but just 1 is fine. Chandra is Chandra, and one of our win conditions. Confirm. This card gets the nod over other counterspells because usually I spend those early turns developing and drawing. I don't really want to hold blue mana open starting on turn 3, but come like turn 5 or 6 when we're at a bit of parity with my opponent, if I slowed them down, this can be a backbreaker if I hit their Planeswalker or the big threat they were building to, and then of course draw even more cards. So that's why it's getting the nod here. It works really well with Fumarole. Like if you turn 2 Fumarole, turn 3 clean up their board a bit, turn 4 get to resolve this is really great. So it's getting the nod. Jace is, he's awesome. What can you say? We love our Planeswalkers. And Gear Hulk is Gear Hulk. You can get back a lot of instants with it. There's a good variety. It always has cool stuff to do, though most of the time it's just Glimmer, Glimmer, Glimmer. Doing it with Scatter also feels amazing. And Chandra, wiping board, ending lives, killing Planeswalkers, giving everyone the business. And then we have 9 islands, 8 mountains, 2 fumaroles, 2 falls, 3 Aether Hubs. Alright. I'm going to address something. It's in the chat already by a few people, and it's going to be probably in my comments like crazy. Why aren't I running Fevered Visions? I love this card. This card is one of my favorite cards. I really can't mulligan it if it's in my hand. It makes me feel so good. I love seeing multiple cards and getting to use this. That said, this is the wrong deck for Fevered Visions. This is a more traditional control deck. It doesn't use tempo. It doesn't use mill strategies. It grinds the opponent out of resources and wins with whatever you have left over. If you play Fevered Visions and your opponent has any kind of an aggressive slant, they're going to keep throwing threats at you, and you're never going to get traction on the board and grind them out, because they're always going to be drawing more gas, thanks to you. Also, it is simply just, with the meta, if I'm not acting fast to kill the opponent, Fevered Visions is almost a suicide pact. The opponent will untap and fleet will cruiser me, and the damage, I'll never really get ahead of them on damage. This is just the wrong card for this deck. Now, I love this card. Do not get me wrong. I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's amazing, and I love playing it. If you want to play it, go ahead, but I'm telling you straight up, this is the wrong deck. There are plenty more blue-red decks to sub this in. I think it's fantastic in the mill deck. I think it's fantastic in the burn deck. And I have no problem if you guys want to run it, but I'm telling you, it is not the right card here. Most of the time, it will sit in your hand, or when you do cast it, the cards that it draws for the opponent will kill you long before you get a chance to kill them. So that's my 2 cents on the Visions. Now that we've seen the deck and talked about a few of the choices, the other one I know some of you are going to hate is I am not a big fan of Disciple of the Ring. This deck is probably better for it than a lot of decks. Oops, went the wrong way. But I am still just, it's not my card. It is a good way to finish off a deck that goes very long, but then again, you can make the argument that the other finishers in the deck are good at finishing a game that goes very long, but they're also good on turn 5, for example, whereas Disciple is usually just, hello, I die. Now, you don't have to agree with me. If you don't like it, you can take out a Confirmed Suspicions, or you can take out a saheeli, and you can run Disciple, and you'll probably do very good. And you might even do better than me. I might have the wrong call here. So it's okay if you want to play it. I'm just putting that out there. Now let's go play some Magic. Yay! Come and get it, opponents. I started a private party this time, and hopefully that means my opponents won't hear me talking. But it does appear that if I mute them and keep talking, they can hear me the whole time. So I feel stupid, but whatevs. Whatevs. Silly Xbox. It's like they want us to communicate with people. They took away Steam's chat for all the ragey texting back and forth, but Xbox, you just can't turn it off, man. You can't turn it off. Like I just turned off my space heater. I should be able to turn these things off. Exiled Jedi. Well, that sucks for you, dude, because being a Jedi would seem pretty cool. Alright, no blue mana, let's try again. This hand is much better. This hand is kind of glorious, except for the removal is very limited. Turn 2 Baral is a great feeling in life. Let's see if it pays off this game as it has for me in other games. In fact, we've got quite the kind of a sequence of setup with Baral into Dynavolt Tower, giving us just a lot more board presence than control decks usually get early, which can't be too bad. And let's see what our opponent is bringing. They have an Aether Chaser. So that's a newish card. I don't run this in vehicles. As first strike, they get 2 energy. When they attack, they may pay 2 energy to create a 1/1. I don't run it in vehicles, but I do run it in Boros, Valor, in Akros, which, because you can make a 1/1 when you attack after playing the Valor to pump it. So we'll see if that's what we're up against. But I think this turn is Tower up, because the sooner that starts generating energy, the better our life will be. And we'll see what our opponent has for us. Oh wait, I'm over there editing something. We've got a Boros Valor. See. Somebody wants to see Boros Valor and Akros. I do promise I'll play that sometime. I like that deck. It's got some new cards. Like, the new cards have put it in a really good place, where you no longer have to take the turn off when you play Valor and Akros. You can get multiple pumps the turn it comes into play with cards like Aether Chaser, Kari Zev, and Hanweir Garrison. That's enough so that it's reasonably consistent. So, our opponent has walked right into our clutches. Let's start with a take inventory, and let's clean up the board before Chandra comes out, because I think we'll be in great shape. Have you thought about Aether Thief instead of Thing to get some more draw or energy? Somebody, let me see. Somebody do the card Aether Thief thing so I can see what it does. Because by name, I don't know it. Somebody MTG bought that. Please. I don't know if Brutal Expulsion is better, but we can play it on his turn. So let's wait. Alright, Shielded Aether Thief. 2 blue, 1 flash. Oh, this card. Okay, so it's an 0/4, and you can pay 3 energy to draw a card. You gain energy whenever it blocks. So the only way that card is very good is when the opponent has to keep attacking into you, or else it's not generating energy. Okay? And the only way it keeps consistently drawing cards is if we have a tower. But if we have a tower, we want to use our energy there. I think that card is very underpowered compared to Thing in the Ice. Like, and I would argue dramatically underpowered. So I am not a fan of that card, and I wouldn't recommend replacing it in most decks. I don't think it's a very good card. The opponent has the option of whether to attack or not. Maybe you get 1 energy out of it the first time you play it, if nothing goes wrong. So, not a fan. Not a fan over here. You can tell. So you are exiled. No, that's not how I want it. I want you to get returned because of the pilot ability, and I want you to get exiled. There we go. Beast also brings up a great point in chat. Thing wins, as in it wins the game when it works, while Aether Thief just finds ways to stall not losing the game. It's not a win condition. Thing in the Ice is a defensive measure that turns into a win condition at the right point in the game, so that's also a great point. I can hold up Telling Time, which can generate energy, which can shoot something, and I can play Saheeli Rai, so I think that's the way we want to go. Still slow-rolling Chandra, but I think that's fine. Probably not smart to make a copy of Baral, just so you know. This is perfect against a tokens deck, so we're not putting that on the bottom. And let's see if our opponent can gain some traction here. It might be the Valor and Akros turn, if they have it. And that could make things interesting. They'll need to rebuild a board after I sweep them. And Kozilek's Return will be great against that card, against Valor and Akros, as we can respond to the trigger. So what do we got here? We have a 3/3 Improvised Menace. That's not very scary. And we'll fire off our Telling Time, and likely killing that, but let's look at our cards. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, they dealt me a tough choice. Oh, my lord. Well, I think I can win with this pair. I don't think I need the Kozilek's Return. Even though it's fantastic, all the things I said are true, but I think this pair wins on raw power, which is just too bad. I'm going to be looking for a shuffle, because I do want that Kozilek's Return back in my deck. Whew! Good cards. That's like one of the better Telling Times in history as far as making tough choices. Let's keep it on the up. And we'll keep that on top. We are on a roll, and I like it. Let's get Chandra out. We can plus her here, make mana. Because of the reduced cost, of glimmer from Baral. We can cast glimmer. That'll put us up to 2 energy from the tower, 2 energy from the glimmer. That's 5. That'll make tower able to fire. We hit the radiant flames and the harness. Like, this is absurd. Like, this is gross stuff. Oh my lord. Alright, I'm just gonna zap you while I can. Not risk any, like, I don't know, effects next turn. And get in there. The 1 damage isn't worth it. We might need a blocker. Fleet Wheel Cruiser and other hasty things exist. We might want to chump and save a Planeswalker. And here comes a 3-2. Megabee says, Wedge said that 3-3 Menace Dude was great in limited events. And there's a link. Who's Wedge? Who is Wedge? I don't know. The link doesn't go anywhere. Let's see. Let's do this. Or no, we don't need to do that. Hold on. There might be broken stuff afoot. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's, plus. Let's Hulk it up. And, oh, I'm not a Mana Source subscriber, so that explains why I'm completely clueless on this one. And we'll get the Glimmer. We're doing this all main phase for a reason. I will reveal it if you don't see it already. And I guess I want the land. It gives me more options, so we'll take those. Those are both great. And now we will copy our Gear Hulk. Hope to dodge a reprisal. That would be a sad panda moment. I could expulsion that thing and bounce my Gear Hulk. Oh, and our Jedi friend has had enough, and I don't blame them. It's a very, very brutal setup. Although now we miss our trigger and we're stuck in the game. I do not enjoy that, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, that was getting nasty. So every time I build blue-red spells, I end up splashing white for Nahiri and Blessed Alliance and Needle Spires. Yep, those are all reasonable options. I won't get in your face about it, but I will tell you, I have had a pretty absurd amount of success with this deck. And I've lost very few games. It plays very well, and it does have a lot of cards that could still go into it, so I don't think the card quality is missing. If you feel you need white to have the right answers to the format, then that's the way it is, and your instincts may be right about that. Maybe it's the Xbox thing, but I don't need that color to win. The third color for Radiant Flames I circumvent with Aether Hub, but it's not that consistent, so that makes sense too. I do find the Jeskai deck to have a lot of lands enter the battlefield tapped in a lot of games, which has cost me a lot of games lately, especially since the new format hit, so that is something I always try to keep in mind. Now, what can we get back? I guess there's a telling time down there. That's fine. Let's power up. Another Hulk time. Hulk it up. Seems good. Just going off over here. Would have accepted the concession and already been on to the next one, but opponent did not make that an option with the way that things ended. They probably didn't do it on purpose. Notice how we set that up with telling time, then cast it? You can do that too. In this case, it absolutely wasn't necessary. I'm just doing it to show a little bit of the things that the deck can do. And now we'll power up tower. Tower will finish game. And ta-da! Blue-red versus pretty much starter box vehicles, but all vehicles can be a pain. Just he didn't have any of the scary ones, that's for sure. Let's go get another one. See if we can find another opponent, maybe one with a lot of cards and a deck that they're excited about, ready to go. When you're blue-red, you don't have direct solutions to enchantments, and you end up doing weird, like, kind of racing situations with Dynavolt Tower when you're up against, say, Sphinx's Tutelage, decks like that. So that is one of the downsides of blue-red, is if you run into Tutelage and they have that really smooth draw, you have to put a lot of pressure on them. That can be very hard to do. Can you even cast Radiant Flames for 3 if you have a Brawl out? No, you can't. No, you cannot. Which, why would you kill your own Brawl? You gotta find other cool things to do. Tons of tap lands give me Mega Beast. That's awesome. Alright, well, I guess I'm relying on take inventory here. This hand could be this could be a very disappointing sequence, but I have trouble going up. AI, here we go again. Alright, well, it's up against the AI. Let's see if we get totally mana screwed. But I have trouble mulliganing 3 lands and 4 spells. That's pretty much the sweet spot, you know, where you're least likely to get flooded and least likely to get mana screwed. And there's a mountain, so off to the races. That's how you do it. Obsessive Skinner. Yeah, okay. The hoops that people jump through, there's some discussion of elves in the chat, and the hoops that people jump through to do things like cast the elf, the Armorcraft Judge, and draw like 2 or 3 cards, just blows my mind. I think people really overdo it with some of the cards like that. If they say draw cards, they try to make it work, and they should, but like Sultai Elves decks, things like that. And this guy's playing like a +1/+1 counter. He's probably trying to make the judge happen. We'll see if that works out for him. Alright, 3 damage. Another mountain would be great. Thank you! What do you say, world? Do we just get him dead? I'm going to kill this one now before Blossoming Defense or something like that comes into play. And we'll see if he wants to somehow buff the other one before we try to kill it. One incoming. Got anything else for me? Nope. Not at this time. Declined. Okay. There's Baral right where I want him when he can come down with a glimmer. So, yeah. Get on that battlefield. It's amazing what a 1/3 even does, as obviously these aren't ideal cards, but there are plenty of decks that leave 1/1s around, and the difference between taking like an extra point of damage every turn and not really adds up in a blue deck, a blue-red deck where you have no life gain. Oh, Nissa, hello. And doesn't activate Nissa. What am I supposed to think of that, AI? What the heck? Doesn't even make a plant? Yeah, I'll take another firecraft. That sounds fun. Let's do it. And Chandra's here, so... I can just free roll Chandra and kill it that way, which is the most mana efficient, but then Angelic Destiny, kill my Chandra. I probably still win, but my insides are screaming at me that I can slow roll a little better. So I'm gonna just firecraft this thing, get it dead, slow roll a little better. I'm definitely not saying those decks are terrible, but talking about those elf decks again, but they're not my style, you know. Other people really go for all in synergy, and if I'm not feeling the synergy, like say Affinity, I back out pretty quick and try to just find the good cards. The blue-black artifacts deck is a recent example of that, where the all-in synergy just did not work for me, and it failed miserably. I was excited about it, but it failed me very hard. Very, very hard. And now I backed out of that. I just kind of trimmed it with good cards like I did with black-green earlier today. You just surround the best cards with other good cards and a few synergies rather than all-in synergy. And that's how I do it. And that's how I do +1/+1 counters. That's why I think that the armorcraft isn't really worth it. And you don't have to agree. That's just the way I approach it. Alright. Well, that's fun. Obviously, Brawl's going to the bottom, because we don't need another one. And everything else is great. Our telling times, the top of our deck has treated us beautifully. Can't be denied. So, you to the battlefield. You make some elementals. Our opponent's hand, which is the AI, by the way, doing absolutely nothing with their life. Going nowhere. Loving it the whole time. I don't know why. And let's get Miss Rye to the battlefield as well. See what you can do with my draw steps, Miss Rye. What do you think? Yeah, we can put that away. Good job. Good job, Miss Rye. I almost drew that card, but you stopped me from doing it. Thank you. Now, if only I could find you a Felidar Guardian to blink 100 times. Mega Beast says they went against a red artifact synergy deck that was incredibly cool and synergistic last night. I don't know if my deck is the same thing, so I'm not saying it is. But go back and check out one of the, I think it was the second deck I ran today, which is, I call it Eggs with Ketchup. It should be in the archives. And maybe that's similar to what you ran into. Maybe it isn't. But for me, it's a pretty cool take on that. There are some neat red artifact decks. Hey, Reprisal. Well, at least he did that before. Maybe that's what the hand is. Maybe the AI's hand is all reprisals. Still get my glimmer. And I don't need those. I'll take these. But Galcanic still, eh. Alright. Get out there. Actually, we'll do this to... How many ways can we kill the opponent here on easy mode? Let's force him to cast a Blessed Alliance now, not while our creatures are in combat, if he has one. Because then we won't have to sacrifice anything. Boom! Pop, pop! Alright. That game was... That was a... I pronounced this baby magic seal clubbed. See if we can get another. See, maybe I can throw it at you, Beast. I'll throw it at you in chat. See if it's... Tell me if this is similar to the deck, or maybe it was different. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds like that kind of thing. It sounds like that kind of thing. Are you sure it wasn't me? Did you check my name? I was up late playing that last night. Did you? If you don't remember the name, it might have been me. But I think I would have remembered playing you, and I don't remember playing you. We are up against River Squirrel. Cool name. I don't know why. I find something about that cool. I'm like, yeah, River Squirrel. All right. We can try this hand. We'll probably do good things. And we might as well get the duel ready. I don't get a lot of value out bluffing turn 1 shock. This at least makes him think I might still have it. And there we go. Thing to the battlefield. Do that thing. Let's see what happens. I'd love to draw some card draw. It's pretty much the only thing missing. Well, apparently the deck is making the rounds. It doesn't... I have a theory that it's not that it's not only not bad, but potentially good. It is frustrating to play against. Like earlier on stream today, we were playing that artifact deck, and they said that we should just call it Rage Quit because everybody wanted to pretty much immediately rage quit when Pia's revolution started asking them questions, lots of questions every turn. The dies to 4 toughness mid-range control deck. Yeah, whatever. 4 toughness this. Bounce always thinks that everything can be summed up in the absolute. Let's see how it goes. Our opponent is bringing the Goblin Arsonist. Not what I expected. Anything else? What could they be sitting on for 1 white? If it isn't a creature, what is it? Is it Enshrouding Mist? What could it be? Or just 1 mana in general, like a Universal Solvent. I guess they could even have a Bone Saw. Who knows? You never know with the duels. Never ever know. Let's see what they've got next. Fragmentize. Well, there was no artifact or enchantment to target, so I was basing it on the hold of priority, but they could have it. Alright, let's get our glimmer on. This is one of those things. I think I will grab 1 land, the Sulphur Falls, and not the other. Actually, I have my mana fine. I'm going to grab the Aether Hub because I might need the energy, and not the other, and count on drawing another. Maybe not this turn, but within a few turns. And there you go. Not the draw, but it will have to do for now. Oh look, I could kill something with 4 toughness with my Harness Lightning plus Aether Hub combo. Now I'm not afraid anymore. And we'll just play the D. Bounce wants to know if anyone has a good black-green counters deck list. Well, if you're here in my channel asking, I don't know if you're asking for mine or not. You'll probably just tell me how it dies to like 15 removal spells, and that makes it completely unplayable. So why should anybody give you a deck list? You'll only come up with why it doesn't work, Eeyore. Pure pessimism at its finest. I'm just going to let those creatures be. I have some sweepers I could draw into. That's fine. All right. I think we just sit. We just sit. Make him do something else. There's a video in my archives already from earlier today, and it's called Why Did It Have to Be Snakes? You can check that one out if you want to. See what he does here. Titan Strength, perfect. Now we can play the U. Bounce U, I guess. I mean, exile U. There we go. It's all kind of the same, but I guess I don't care if he has either one. This is just, I feel like I'm dropping a sledgehammer on a gnat. And another lightning. So I haven't drawn the land for that Hulk, but it's okay. It's going to be fine. Let's send this in. If he has a Blessed Alliance, I'm more than happy to play the other one. I'll send you the deck, and you will make fun of it, and that's fine, I guess. But this is the deck list bounce I'm posting in chat from earlier today, and there'll be a video on it on both YouTube and my channel. If you like it, you can play it. If you don't, play something that's better, and tell me about how better it is and why it's so much better. That can die. Yeah, we'll just fire off this bombardment now. We're gonna kill it anyway. Might as well get it done. I'm putting the list. I'm trying to put the list in all the video descriptions, either on YouTube or on the Twitch archives. So it may take a few days for that all to get updated, but I'm trying to record a ton of things today. I'm just cranking out a whole bunch of videos because tomorrow I get on a plane and I go to Thailand, and I'm going to be gone for about 2 weeks. So I'll be like editing and working on the videos while I'm there whenever I have a minute. So I'm going to be gone for a while. I'm trying to crank out as many of my deck ideas as I can before I go. And there's a Hanweir garrison, okay. Because by the time I get back, people might be over Aether Revolt, so I'll have the format onto something new. So I want to give them the information while they want it. While they might still want it. And, let's Glimmer. Those cards are fantastic, I think. We even have 5 energy right now. Oh, jeez, oh, Pete's. Chandra off the top. Yep, this you gotta admit, guys, this deck treats me well. It just loves to feed me the cards I want. That's the point, Nighthawk. I'm not being... Nighthawk says how selfish going to Thailand and leaving us without content. I'm not. I'm recording all this now so I can upload it like periodically later, or you know, you can watch it later. You don't have to watch it all today. I don't know if you're aware of that fact, but you can. You can take the videos I'm sending to YouTube, watch some now, watch some later. I'm trying not to leave you completely without some content. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to hold it down for the peeps. Foundry, that's not very scary. Planar Outburst. Well, I can't hit a counter, and I can't hit a brutal, so I guess that's fine and gets to resolve. Although I can pay 1 less mana. I can get the Brawl discount while I can. That's fine. Show me some cards. Well, that's a good card. That's a good card. Against this deck, I mean, this is well in hand. Well in hand. I would love to show you videos of, you know, just some more intense challenges, but I can only take what the Xbox serves me. So, is it Chandra time? I think it is. Let's see, our opponent could untap and send in the Needle Spires with a Titan Strength and kill it, so maybe it's not. Maybe we're supposed to wait for 1 more mana. So, that's what I'll do. Can't hurt. When you're really far ahead, just don't do stupid things that leave you without a win condition, I think is a good way to go about it. Torrential Gearhulk. Block the thing with 4 toughness. Nom nom nom. Go Gearhulk. Plenty of options. Valor and Akros. Right on. Let's see if my opponent starts going off with that. I still think we've got all the tools we need. I do love me some Valor, though. Maybe we'll play that deck next. If you guys want to see the Valor tokens list. Alright, power up the tower. Tower, oh power. Am I going to gorge on spicy Thai food? Probably not. I'm probably going to try not to eat too much, to be honest. Yeah, let's see. At this point, we'll just go like this. Leave the hub open. Yep. Play Chandra. ++. And there we go. I usually lose a lot of weight on vacation because I don't eat that much food. I'm not much of a foodie, and I'm pretty sensitive. It's not that my stomach is extremely sensitive. I just don't like eating as much as I like doing a lot of other things. Eating is like using my time to do something to keep my body alive when I could be out exploring or just doing other, random stuff, playing Magic, for example. So yeah, I don't eat for fun. I'm a big fast food person. I just love fast food because you get it and you're done and you're on to the cool things you want to do. Do you think Valor is better than Borrow Grace for tokenless? Maybe. Seems slow to me. I hope to show you why I think that changed with the new set. There's a lot of ways now to take advantage of Valor the turns it comes into play, but I'm talking about a deck that we're not playing yet. This deck, Blue-Red Control, got the 3-0 sweep. Nothing too competitive, but I will tell you I've played this deck. I played it a lot last format too, and it won a lot of games. My favorite game to win was definitely playing against Black Barney, where I firecrafted him 3 times in one turn using Jace Flashback, and beating Barney with firecraft, that just felt like beating LeBron James at basketball. That's excellent. I mean, that's just his card, so I was very happy. How are you going to Magic over there? I will either bring some cards and see if I can find, believe it or not, a local game store. But it doesn't look promising. I didn't see anything. And I will probably bring my iPad and play some duels. So that's still going to happen. Does it fold to tutelage? Well, a turn 3 tutelage, it very well could if you can't put a clock on them with, say, a quick thing in the ice and a Dynavolt tower going off or a Chandra. Yeah, it could lose to tutelage, just like most decks. Just like everything that's not pure aggro or spam enchantment removal. Somebody has the name LeBron James as the GOAT. That's pretty cool. But anyway, that was the Blue-Red Control deck. Pretty fun deck. You should try it. Bounces quick to point out all the ways that it can lose, just like I can poke a hole in every single one of his control decks or any list he's ever posted, but I take the classy road, and I don't. So, you guys, thank you, and I will see you in a few with another deck.